Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at an excerpt from Coach Ed Padalecki's piece, What If It Was Easy? Got the source right here.
Right.
And our mission really is to pull out the key stuff for high-performing professionals, coaches, athletes.
People who often feel like success has to be a massive struggle, right?
Exactly that. Maximum friction seems like the only way.
So Coach Padalecki brings up this term referencing Alan Cohen being a hard-aholic.
Hard-aholic. I think we can all kind of relate to that feeling sometimes, making something way tougher than it needs to be.
Definitely. And Coach P really zeroes in on this. He points out this common belief, especially in high-achieving circles, that effort must equal value.
Meaning success has to feel like a grind to be legitimate.
Precisely. But what's really interesting is how Coach Padalecki frames it.
How so?
He suggests this isn't just like part of the journey, but often a barrier we put up ourselves.
So we're not just facing the hard stuff, we might actually be creating it, or at least making it worse with our mindset.
That's the idea, unknowingly amplifying the difficulty.
Okay, so if we're prone to making things harder, what's Coach Padalecki's solution? How do we counter that?
Well, he offers a specific tool. It's essentially a cognitive reframing technique.
Reframing, so changing how you think about it.
Exactly. Intentionally picking a perspective that helps you take action and cuts down that internal resistance.
Changing the story you tell yourself about the task or the goal.
Right. And the core of it is this simple question he poses. What if this was easy?
What if this was easy? That sounds almost too simple, especially when you're facing something huge, like a major project or a really tough training cycle.
It does feel counterintuitive, yeah. He even suggests making it specific, like what if it was easy to, and then you fill in your goal or challenge.
Okay, and he connects this to performance, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
flow state.
He does. He links it to sports psychology concepts like flow. Flow isn't about things being easy, necessarily, but about that sweet spot where challenge meets your skill level.
And the mindset is key for that.
Totally. Coach Padalecki's point is that asking this question can actually reduce the friction, that internal drag, even if the external work is still demanding.
Okay. So it's not about making the work disappear, but changing how you relate to the work internally. Does he mention specific benefits of asking, what if this was easy?
He does. First, he says it helps lower mental resistance.
Right. So instead of bracing for this awful, difficult experience,
You shift. You move from seeing it as a threat to maybe just a manageable challenge. Less dread.
that makes sense. What else?
He also suggests it kickstarts creative problem solving.
How so?
Well, if you stop focusing only on how hard it's going to be and how you'll just endure it, you might start looking for smarter ways through.
Like strategies or maybe simpler approaches you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Exactly. Shortcuts, maybe, or just a more efficient path.
Okay. Reduce resistance, creative solutions. Anything else?
Yes. And this one's important. He says it generates confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah.
How does asking if it could be easy build confidence?
Just believing that it might be easier than you're currently making it, well, that can build a bit of momentum. It reduces that feeling of being overwhelmed or frozen by the perceived difficulty.
So the big takeaway here from Coach B isn't ditching discipline, right? It's not about avoiding hard work.
Not at all. It's about shifting from a mindset that's only about struggle to one that includes strategic ease, finding a smarter, less resistant path.
And he actually gives a practical challenge for you, the listener, based on this.
He does. It's pretty direct. Think of a goal or task right now that feels heavy, feels difficult. Ask yourself that question. What if this was easy? And then this is the crucial part. Identify just one small, easy action step you could take towards it today from that easy perspective.
Just one small step. It breaks it down, makes the monumental feel more manageable.
Exactly. It's not about denying obstacles or saying discipline isn't needed. It's purely about changing the internal approach you take to face them.
Which leads to a pretty powerful question for anyone striving for high performance, doesn't it?
It does. What if peak performance isn't always about taking the absolute hardest, most grinding route imaginable?
What if it's more about finding the most effective path, the one with strategic ease built in?
Imagine moving through challenges like a pro athlete, navigating an obstacle course, focused, maybe even a bit playful, but fully engaged and efficient.
Something to think about. What if you could approach your challenges that way? Let's go find out. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.